everybody, and welcome to another episode of Positivity. We are delighted to be joined by the wonderful Claire here and with us. Hi, Claire.
Hi.
And where are you in lockdown?
We are. I'm at home in Stockton-on-Tees, up in Teesside.
Oh, amazing. And you have been nominated by the one and only Andy Gray. Did you know that you've been nominated, or?
He did give me the heads up, he did.
That's good. Didn't just throw this at you. That's really good. Oh, brilliant. And who are you locked down with, or have been locked down with?
With my partner and my two children.
Oh, great. And have you all got on well throughout this craziness?
You know what? We really did. Me and my partner moved in because of the lockdown, so it was something we talked about, but it wasn't expected to happen like it did. But to be honest, it's been as cringy as it sounds. It's been amazing for our relationship, and the kids are. I'm very lucky. The kids are spot on. So obviously, normal chewy bits and stuff, but as a rule, we've been great.
That's really good. Brilliant. Well, I'm glad to hear it, and lots of people that have moved in together, and it's definitely a test, so I'm glad to hear that. Oh. So it's done well. So this is Positivity, and we just have one ask, that everybody has a cuppa with them to hand, so that while everyone listens, they can go and take a well-deserved break. So have you got something with you?
I do. A gigantic cup with adulting is hard.
Yeah, and we fully agree with that. We absolutely agree, especially in the last few months. So that's amazing. And glad to see that it's just a standard cup of coffee. We've had a few guests on that have had lots of flavoured teas that I've never heard of before. So just the bog standard
black coffee.
Amazing. So it would be great to hear from you as to what you do day to day, and one of the reasons that Andy has nominated you. So can you share a little more, please?
Yeah, in a nutshell, I'm a mother of two, like I've just said. I'm a full-time student at Teesside University, studying psychology, and that all links into what I do, which is I run my own organisation around physical and mental well-being. We use exercise, predominantly walking and running, to help people manage their physical and mental health, but also alongside peer support, so talking, whether it's face-to-face, although obviously not at the moment, online, peer support groups, things like that. So we're very focused on positivity. Like, this is probably why I was nominated. We're a very positive entity. Mental health is a very dark subject, and we're very honest and very blunt. But we promote a lot of the positiveness around mental health, so celebrating people's achievements, motivating them, encouraging them, motivational quotes and things like that. We do a lot. It's a lot to be positive about, as opposed to more like your professional services are fantastic, but they can be very dark and complex and things like that. So we like to keep it as a baseline.
Yeah, I think that's so true. I think for a lot of people, the stereotype around just the words mental health, it immediately turns it to negative, but actually physical health doesn't seem like that, and it's just things like you're doing to change that and challenge that perception is incredible. And do you feel that people are really challenging those stereotypes?
Definitely. I suppose in a sense it's kind of two with it. Like, we changed health to well-being, but that's because we wanted to encompass everything. So we've got plans for the future in regards to mindfulness and life coaching and things like that. So well-being, although yes, we wanted to ditch the stereotype to get people engaged, we've actually found that people feel more comfortable with it, and it promotes more the services that we offer. We are not just a mental health organisation, we're an overall well-being organisation, and that was important to us. But people are starting to challenge it, although I think it's lockdown has revealed to me just how massive stigma is on mental health. Like, very little has been mentioned throughout all of this, yet mental health is probably the second most destructive thing that has happened during the last couple of months.
No, I completely agree, and I think that's why lockdown is easing, and just for the social aspects, they're just as important. I think. Are you happy to share a little bit about sort of the motivation behind setting up Red Balloons and the amazing work that you're doing?
Mental health I must say, like, slight trigger warning in what I talk about, but mental health's been a massive part of my life since I was a child. My mum suffered a lot of her own issues. My father was an alcoholic who we left when I was around the age of 3, and we had, was a difficult relationship with that. But I kind of, you just get on with it. Like, I grew up in a council estate. It wasn't talked about in the 80s and 90s. Certainly couldn't say that my mum was like poorly or anything like that, because it was just, you got bullied for being poor, you got bullied for not wearing the right clothes or anything like that. I had my daughter when I was 19, and that was probably my first insight into my own ill mental health. I did end up in hospital when I hurt myself quite badly. But again, I managed to talk my way out of it. I'm quite confident. I've always had forward facing jobs, so it was quite easy for me to put on a mask, as I used to call it, and talk my way out of situations, and people would leave me be because they'd be like, oh, she's all right, she's having a laugh, she's joking on. But over the years, I just didn't accept things that had happened in my childhood, didn't accept things that had happened as I was growing up. And in 2017, when I heard I was getting made redundant from the job I was in at the time, a job that I really shouldn't have went into, in a sense, because office work and being left to my own thoughts was very, very negatively, like, it negatively impacted me a lot. I attempted suicide, and I can sit here and say now that I'm very lucky to have survived that. And I can, again, it's down to these cheesy sayings and everything, but I do believe everything happens for a reason, and I do believe that I had to hit that, and that I survived for a reason, and that's my motivation. I've been called selfish, I've been called a bad mum, I've been called all sorts because of what I did. And what I think one of my main messages to everyone is, you need to live for yourself. Like, yes, I've got children, but I thought I was doing that to make their life better. Like, I just, in my head, life was crap because I was in it. If I took myself out of that, then they'd live a much better life. I didn't do it. I did it so that no one would have known what it was. So my life insurance would pay out. So my children wouldn't have had to live with the effects of me taking my own life. So I planned it to look like an accident. And I thought, once I went into recovery, I hate that word, but once I went into counselling and antidepressants, and I was running and exercising, and that was helping, I decided I wanted to give back a bit. So I started to fundraise for Mind. I started to blog about my experiences. I'm very honest, I swear a lot, so I do apologise if I swear on this. I am trying not to.
You're allowed to swear, it's fine.
Don't give me permission. It's just kind of one of my, like, the ways I express myself if I'm passionate about something. And Mind encouraged me to set up a peer support group to help others, like, face to face. And then Red Balloons grew from there. So we offered a 1-hour slot on a Tuesday for people to pop down and have a talk. I have fitness qualifications, so I could help them if they were training for something like a 5K. And then it's just kind of grown from there. Social media engagement was growing steadily and more groups were needed. So we started running groups. I recruited volunteers. I managed to get my own office space to be more like professional, although I'm very openly not professional, but I think that helps with what we do because I'm very honest and I'm very me. So I don't sit there and use big words and speak properly. I just speak me.
And that helps people immediately feel comfortable and open up, because one, they know you've experienced it, and it humanizes the situation so much more.
Definitely. And I suffer. It's quite complex. Like, all my volunteers have mental health issues or have had. And what people will find if they do suffer or know someone who does is they're kind of interlinked a lot of the time. So my issues are depression, anxiety, and bulimia. So I have experiences in those. So the overall, it goes back to the overall well-being. I'm very passionate about physical health as well as mental health because they do completely go hand in hand. And if you've got confidence in one side, it automatically helps the other side, and that's how we help people.
Yeah, and how do you, particularly through lockdown, how have you used your physical health to help the mental well-being side?
So lockdown, I've been very honest, I've suffered really badly through lockdown. Definitely through the first 2 and a bit months, because it felt like my whole life, I had a plan, I knew where I was going to university, I was doing this, that and the other, Red Balloons was doing well, and lockdown just kind of flipped everything on its head. So I did get quite poorly again through the first half of this, but it was using the coping strategies that I know. So physically, we do walks, we get out where possible. I still do my running, although not as much because I'm not training for anything at the minute. But that's been actually a good release for me because I focused so much on training for the marathon and half marathons and stuff like that. I kind of lost the passion and it lost its effect because I was doing it because I had to, not because I wanted to.
Yeah.
But I've been doing a lot of home conversion as well. So my house and my garden has all been like completely transformed. Building my own gym in my garage and stuff like that. So it's nice to have that motivation back. It's nice to want to go for a run or want to jump on the bike or something like that. And that has had a massive effect, especially over the last couple of weeks, where I remembered why I do.
And it's that fine balance, isn't it, of having a purpose and having a reason to go out, but also that internal pressure, I guess, as well, of not pushing yourself too much to actually remember why you enjoy it. So to get that must be really difficult, and especially being a mum as well. Everything right.
They're completely different ages as well. So I've got a 15-year-old daughter and a 6-year-old son. So different genders, different ages, different stages in life. So it's like definitely a balancing act a lot of the time to make sure that they're both happy.
Yeah. No. And have you had to take on homeschooling as well?
I'm going to be honest, and I have been like it's my thing. My daughter's done a lot herself. She's in year 10, so she does a lot of online stuff. There's not really, to be fair, she'd probably have to tell me what she was doing because I wouldn't have a clue. But my son, my priority with him was mainly making sure that he was calm. Even at such a young age, he suffers massively from anxiety, and it was making sure he was happy and comfortable. So I haven't done an awful lot. We do bits and pieces, but I was more interested in making sure that he understood what was going on, that he was happy and settled, and that has been my priority, not his schooling. It is a concern now because I don't think anyone realised how long this would go on for. But we're doing bits and pieces. His reading's fantastic, but ultimately his mental health was my priority. And I'm proud to say that I think we've managed that quite well.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it should be. And I guess is he understanding the reasons why he's not at school? And
yeah, to a degree, I think it's got harder now that, like, over the last week especially, every day I want to go to school, Mum. I miss my friends. I want to go to school. And he's got a cousin who's in one of the years that can go back. And now it's getting more confusing because he doesn't understand why he can go back and he can't. So that's been a struggle because he's like, I just want to see my friends. And he does learn better in that environment. Like, I'm not even going to try and pretend I'm a teacher. I'm far from it. So we muddle on and do what we can. So
yeah, exactly. And that's another thing, isn't it? Just do what you can and don't put that pressure on yourself again, because you're not a teacher. That's not why you do it. I've just been trying to share with friends, maybe just look confident that you know what division is and remembering it, but I definitely wouldn't be able to at all. No. Oh no, that's brilliant. Has there been anything else in lockdown that you have found outside of sport and physical health that has kept you positive? I know lots of people that we've had on have looked at podcasts, they've been reading, they've been binge watching lots on Netflix. Is there anything that's just been keeping you going and keeping you positive?
A few things actually. I love photography, so only on my like little phone camera and stuff, but my partner's like extremely good at it, and he's been showing me photo editing, so I've been taking photos and playing around with them, and I've really enjoyed doing that, and I feel like I'm starting to improve, and I like seeing what I'm doing. A bit geeky, but I've done a lot of online learning. Like, although my degree is my degree has stressed me out somewhat chronic this year, I just decided to sign up for summer school because, why not? So I'm doing emotional, social and mental health in children during the summer. And I've managed, depression took reading away from me, and I was really upset about that because I used to love reading. But one thing lockdowns gave me is I've actually managed to read nearly 3 books, which for me over the last few years is like phenomenal. So I've been proper chuffed with that.
Yeah. Any recommendations in those books? Or
I love the Jill Sims book, so Why Mummy Swears and Why Mummy Drinks, because they're just really easy reading. But if you're a mum or a dad, they are so relatable. It's just like My partner couldn't understand. I would actually wet myself laughing at some of the things he says. He's like, how can a book be that funny? I was like, honestly, you have to read it to understand it. So I definitely recommend hers. But I'm just finishing off Jason Fox, one of his SAS books, and it's interesting to read it from from a male point of view, because male mental health is obviously something that I'm passionate about. But from someone in that kind of career, and how he's got through PTSD and got to where he is. So it's like quite a motivational, like, yes, I'm on the right path. I am doing what I want to do and stuff like that. So
that's brilliant. And then the links as well between military and sport as well in the mental health side. It's amazing. Oh, I'm definitely going to read that. I'm a big celebrity SAS and SAS who does. Did you watch it at the start of lockdown? It feels like a long time ago.
I did. It was really, really good. I absolutely love it. So you get proper involved. I'm one of these people who shout at the TV and stuff. So I'm like,
yeah, that's me too. Will we see you on it in a few years, do you think? Do you think you'll be applying?
I want to apply for it. I do want to do it. My concern is I'm not sure if they would allow me on with my mental health difficulties. Obviously they have to be thinking, but I would love to do it to prove to myself just how strong I actually am, because I get told it all the time, but I'm sure anyone would understand it. People can tell you and they'll believe it and they'll mean what they're saying, but for you it's just like when people say you're brave or you're strong, I'm not. I'm just me. I just do what I have to do. So it'd be nice to see how far I can push myself and actually say, like, running the marathon was one where I sat there and I went, me, I did that. Like, oh my God, I'm not like what you get it all the time. Oh, you don't look like a marathon runner. I'm like, what does a marathon runner look like? But I am. So it's like something like that I want to do to really push my limits.
Yeah. Were you due to run the marathon this April?
No, I did last year, and I'm still on the wall of not doing it again. It bloody hurt. So yeah.
Well, I went to watch a friend do it last year, and then when you're there and in the crowds, and everyone said, "Don't do it, Alex, because you'll love it. You'll love being there, and you'll sign up." And I signed up to try through the ballot, but it was when they said I wasn't in. It was I'm quite relieved, but also I really wanted to do it. But then it would have been tough anyway this year because it's been postponed. So
I know, no, it's awful. So many things are getting like cancelled, and people are missing out on so many things. But hopefully, it just means it'll come back bigger and better, and people will be more like, yes, I'm going to do this. I've got something to prove now. So I'm always trying to see twists in what's happening.
Yeah, that's so true. I think so many people have looked at how they live their life and how they will change when we go back to whatever the new normal is. Is there anything that you think I'm going to do that differently, or?
I think I do need to realise, I think it's made me realise that I do need to rest more. So I've been like forced, like I am normally the busiest person ever, but a lot of it was distraction, I suppose. But I do like to be busy. I'm not one of these people I can't even lie. A lie into me is 8 o'clock in the morning. So I think it's helped me realise that I need to slow down sometimes. It's okay to binge watch a Netflix series. It's okay to sit and watch a film. It's okay to lie on my bed and go, oh, kids, don't bother me for 20 minutes. Like, that's what I'm going to take from this. That if I want a day off, I'm going to take a day off, and I'm not going to feel guilty for it.
No, exactly. I think that's it, isn't it? It's creating me time, and to be the best version of yourself, you have to do that.
Yeah.
No, that's great. I think I need to listen to you more as well. That's definitely something.
I need to listen to myself. I'm always good at saying stuff. I just don't take any notice.
Yeah, write it down and then put it up around the wall and things. Have a day off.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll keep reminding you now. I'll send you a message soon and say, hope you had a day off. Oh, Claire, thank you so much for joining us today. I could sit here talking to you all day, I think. But my final question to you is that we ask everybody to nominate somebody else to come on Positivity, and I wondered if you had anyone that you would recommend to us.
I haven't actually pre-warned her about this, but I would
not live.
I would love to nominate Steph Addison, who she runs Raindrops to Rainbows, which is a perinatal mental health organisation. One, she's a fantastic woman and her story is phenomenal. And two, she's become a very close friend, and we met through like at meetings and stuff. and she is one of my massive inspirations for things that she's went through and what she does, and she's just amazing. She is just amazing. So I would love to nominate her.
Oh,
Like I said,
wow.
a bit of honor.
No, it's more fun when we just get them on straight away.
Yeah, I would love to. She does work full time, but she's working from home a lot of the time. But yeah, she's definitely someone you will love interviewing. She's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. Oh, thank you so much. I look forward to talking to her. That would be great. Oh, well, thank you so much for joining us, Claire. And we hope to see you soon.
Oh, thank you so much, Alex.
Thank you.
Take care.